I started making port. My first port was 2002. Well, you didn't know about the first one. A friend of mine, 2002 I was still working in a Livermore winery, and I've always been kind of interested by the port. I always liked port. My family always had port in France, and so I just decided, it was like October, end of October, I said, I want to make a port. So I went to see my friend in Livermore, and I said, what do you have I can make port? He said, well, it's kind of late in the season, but I have some Petit Verdot. We can try with that. I said, hey, I'm game. So I went and we got some Petit Verdot, and traditional way of making the port. That means you start the fermentation on the red wine, and when you come to the degree of sugar you want, you just take your alcohol and just dump it in there. That stop the fermentation, and then clean it up, put it in a barrel, and let it age. And that Petit Verdot port went out really good. I didn't age it very long, maybe a year or so, and it was called the Lady's Port because the lady loved it. It was very fruity. It was not a traditional port with the hazelnuts taste, and it was really different, but it was good, and it sold pretty good. So the year after, I decided to go traditional. So I contacted Ramon Rios here in Tracy. He has a winery. He also has a small vineyard in the back, and I researched a little bit the port varietals, and I just ended up doing it with Touriga National and Suzal, and that's what Ramon's grows. And I was 75% Touriga National and 25% Suzal, and it turned out to be a great port. This one was aged about the same thing, a year, almost 16 months, and then bottled it, and it sold out really fast. I made the same port in 04, I made the same port in 05. The only difference is the brandy I used, and I buy my brandy from a place in Alameda called St. George Spirits. It's a great place, a really fun guy. But anyway, the only difference in those three vintages, the barrels were the same, the grapes were the same, different year, but the alcohol was the only thing that changed a little bit. The first year, I just used a regular, first year I had an extra barrel Sangiovese, which I didn't want to use, so I took that barrel Sangiovese to St. George Spirits and he distilled it. So actually that port was 100% Tracy. Even the alcohol was distilled, was Sangiovese from Tracy. And it was excellent. In 2004, we had a little more money, so I decided, oh, what the heck. I went and bought some aged brandy and put it in, and it's okay. I mean, it's good, but it's not finished. It's still in barrel, and
it's going to stay there.
It's going to stay there until it's okay. It's becoming better. It was a little harsh. The alcohol, the aged brandy, I think, does not mellow as well as the other brandy, and I didn't know that. I just learned it now. So it's still in barrel, and then the 05. That year I wasn't so rich, so we went back to regular brandy, Zinfandel brandy. That was really good.
Much better.
And the 05 is ready. So the 05 is going to be bottled in a week or so, and I'm sure it's going to sell pretty fast. We better bottle it because she keeps on going in the barrels. I have a barrel that's about half empty now.
Well, there's none in the bottle to drink, so we drink from the barrel.
So anyway, that's the story of the port. And one thing to mention about the port is that in last year or 2 years ago, in January, I forgot exact date, but the TTB decided that you could not call a port because port was for Porto, for Portugal. But the winery that were making port prior to this date were grandfathered in and could continue to put port on their bottle. And in Tracy, I'm the only winery that can do that. Nobody else can because they started after that date, and I wasn't before. So guess what? That's the only Tracy port you will ever find.
So being Tracy's oldest winery.
Yeah. Anyway, so.